All right. Welcome to our first post-market analysis. So let's get right to it. Last week, I identified that this low over here didn't break that low right there. So it made a demand zone on a 4-hour time frame. So if we go on the 1 hour, we just have to identify the market shift. So it broke structure to the downside in here, but went to break this high low, lower high over here, sorry, to make this move, right? This trade was on Sunday, didn't take it because it was too fast to take it, boom. But it came to a 618 over here to push price to the upside, right? But the reason as well I was not comfortable to take it is because the DXY was going up the whole time. So there was no confluence for DXY towards the gold. So that's why I didn't take any trade because the XY wasn't dropping down. Right? So while it pushed while it pushed up, right, it was breaking many structures in here and in here, right? So now my thing is to watch what level it could drop. I think from that low to that high price came to a 78, 88.6. But like I said, there was no move that dropped from the days wise, so that's why I don't consider thinking taking a trade from gold right now, right? This week there was no news, so price went and it went up smoothly. But my thing when I'm trading, I'm trying to get the most confirmation as possible. All right. So in that instance, there was a big, huge move to the upside and to the downside from gold. Right now, the XY going up. So uh I'll wait for this move or this retracement to go and stop before looking for an entry. Right? So that was for gold market shift, make it bullish for this week. Now let's see for oil. All right, oil. Like I said, straightforward. This was the trade that I was comfortable with, right? Because as I always say, the XY doesn't need to align for oil to take place, right? Right now, when you see price over here, right, broke structure, and as you can see, price opened with a gap over here. So we knew price would look for support, for a support over here. So we were bullish. There was that range that was broken as well, broke structure to the previous trend, and now made a demand zone with that low over here by making a fake out. Right, that was the position. Uh, yeah, from that low to that high, that trade took place by touching the 74.55 and kept going up. So straightforward, there was nothing more to evaluate. Like I said, the XY doesn't need to align for oil to move. There was other breaker structures happening right now, so we know price is bullish when that happened. So yeah, that was pretty much it. Price could go a little higher next week, which would push the price of petroleum up, right? The oil up. So yeah, there's a lot of liquidity also to be grabbed. So yeah, that's pretty much it for oil. If you look at our pre-market analysis, you would know it was explained during the video on YouTube. So yeah, for me that was pretty much it. I will give the mic to Viking.
Yes. All right. So I'm gonna share my screen and we're gonna take a look together at US 30 and BTC USD. So, pre-market analysis this Sunday, past Sunday was pretty straightforward. So what happened was we were bearish for the reason of the Dow Jones was breaking structure to the downside and did not finish the structure. So we were aiming for price to end to the 618 over here. So currently I still have a position open that was around the 618, but this week's position that I focused on was from this lower high to this lower low. So if you guys take a look in the 4 hour, this lower high created a lower low that broke the previous trend, so demands of the previous trend in the 4 hour and as well in the 1 hour. So the price came back in the 78.6, made a supply zone. All right, price action wise, I have to admit that it was not necessarily that clear of a supply zone, but it is still a higher high that did not break the supply of a previous trend for me. So the price went down and I closed my trade close to my TP. I was aiming for the price to go to the 618, but since we're getting pretty close to the take profit level, the Dow Jones is known to sometimes reverse, and he still created the demand zone, which is where I decided to stop my trade. So entry was pretty clear in a daily SNR, 78.6 discount, EMA, and the price melted. So we're going to take a look at Bitcoin USD. All right. So we had during last Friday, basically a week ago, this entry that was pretty clear until the take profit that we was aiming with our fib, which was the 272. And that structure, I knew that the price was going to go to 66,592. All right. So what happened was the price went up, broke structure here. So basically, the price decided to manipulate this Asian session here that the liquidity was not grabbed, but did not come to a real discount. So what happened was, since we had a SNR approximately here, I knew that the price was probably not going to come, and I had my EMA 200, EMA 50 in the 1 hour, showing the flow that the price was going to keep going up, which is why I decided to go in the 15 minutes. So if you guys take a look, the 15-minute went down. All right. So we have a market shift here. So the price broke downside, but then broke upside. Okay. And the price as well decided to go up. We had another entry, which is the entry that I took when the price went up, broke structure here and here, all right, and came back discount. So if we take our fib, the price came back 78.6, and in the higher time frame, that was the structure that I used for my entry. So there was two good structure that could be that we could have used for BTC this week. And if you take a look at the YouTube again of the pre-market analysis done every Sunday, Bitcoin did exactly what we talked about during the pre-market. So that was pretty much it. Pretty straightforward. So I'm gonna give back the mic to Straight Up. In the meantime, I suggest you guys to come join the link in the bio. Come take a look at our pre-market analysis every Sunday, 7:30 p.m. And we will keep posting post-market analysis to make an update on what happened during the week every Friday at night. Straight up.
Yes, that was pretty much straightforward, like you said. There's nothing to be add. So far, yeah, we will try to do that every week, like we do the pre-market analysis as well. So have a great weekend and see us on Sunday, 7:30 p.m.
Yes,
So
sir.
yes,
All right.
we
Peace,
have
guys.
yes.